New Orleans has the one thing that my mother and father always told me to have, and that's character.
When you think about your public career today, do you see it as unfinished, or do you see it as a chapter that's closed?
Well, I mean, if you've followed me, one of the things I constantly remind people is you don't have to be elected to serve. And I think that mindset has helped me win most of every election but one, right? So 5-1, right?
The one he lost was his most recent bid for mayor.
We ought to coordinate how we play on each other and build on the assets in the community.
After a sharp rise, fall, and redemption, Oliver Thomas's political story mirrors the city he served, ambitious, complicated, and shaped by hard lessons.
I think the best people God put on this earth are the ones who've overcome their obstacles and problems. That's what history shows me.
The Constitution and the laws of the state of Louisiana.
Thomas first rose to prominence as a powerful voice on the city council representing District B.
Every time there's another delay, another child dies. Every time there's another delay, another house is vacant.
He was then elected to a council-at-large seat in the first post-Katrina election.
I, Oliver M. Thomas.
Oliver M. Thomas, Jr.
His influence grew, and some say he positioned himself as a future leader of the city.
I'm the only person to hold 3 seats on the New Orleans City Council.
But his political ascent came to an abrupt halt after Thomas pleaded guilty in a federal corruption case.
Approximately 5 years ago, I accepted an inappropriate gift from a local businessman.
He was sentenced to prison, a fall from grace that ended his mayoral aspirations and temporarily sidelined his career.
They say like now.
For years after his release, Thomas remained largely outside the political arena, but he eventually made his way back in.
So help me God.
Winning the District East seat and rejoining the New Orleans City Council. But in his last attempt to climb to the city's highest office, he learned in New Orleans politics the past isn't always forgiven.
Obviously, you were indicted and there was a time in federal prison, but now you're back in that realm. What do you think went wrong?
I underestimated the fact that my criminal conviction, I thought more of the people would have moved on, especially in the white community. If you look at the numbers, they didn't. I won my district. I won the major black precincts around the city.
So losing the election is one thing, but I won so much respect for all of you.
Do you think your previous conviction is going to stop you from future opportunities?
Unfortunately, because of social media, because of a lot of folks' inability to forgive themselves, it's very hard for them to forgive others. So, no, I moved on a long time ago.
You can take a bad situation and make a good situation out of it if you're willing to do the work internally and externally, and I was able to do that with the help of wonderful people.
Is there anything you wish you would have done different?
Yeah, I never would have made that mistake that I made that sent me to prison. Politically, I would have focused more on economics and how we begin to invest in black families and stabilize them. I would have spent more time we cannot continue to have a third of our largest population here at or below the poverty level.
What are you working on right now?
Gosh, first of all, my responsibility is as a husband and a father, and in my family, I have so much more time shaping where I want to fit in terms of business, consulting, and prospecting with a few companies, and looking forward to where I land.
Are you actively considering another run for office?
No. Oh, no, that, man, that would be, I just got my butt whipped, right? I took a look broke down every polling precinct in the city. Given turnout, the fact that whites block voted, blacks didn't turn out in the numbers, and the votes were split, wasn't no way I was going to win that race.
Is your political career, is that done?
Well, you never say never, but that's not where my mindset is right now.
The next chapter for Oliver Thomas may not be written yet.
How you gonna take over a city when you can't fix y'all stuff?
But his story remains one of the most complex and debated in New Orleans politics.
Everything that I've ever done, right or wrong, and especially right, has been shaped by the greatest, the most glorious, grimy city in the history of the world. I'm proud of New Orleans.